Okay, so I figured out the other microphone where the wind kind of deflector on. Sorry if I'm tapping it and it sounds bad. The other one, it sounds very muffled. I tried to check it on the computer. It sounds very muffled. There's probably some settings, to be honest, to fix that, but I don't know where they are. So I've changed to the normal microphone head, and I'm going to try this. The sound is slightly still a little bit muffled. I don't know if it's because of the distance or what. This is obviously first time using a microphone, so I apologize if it doesn't sound great. I will try to work with the computer as well and figure out what's going on, but I got work to do, so right now we're just going to carry on. You will notice that this is full of wood. The last clip, it wasn't. We were going away on holiday, and I basically needed to clear the garage or car storage area, whatever you want to call it, for our family car because we went on holiday and we needed somewhere to keep all the cars. So I had to move all the wood. So I stacked it up. Now I have about 60, 70 pieces of these short kind of posts. I have about 60, 70 of them. There's grass growing already. And I don't really know what to do with them, to be honest. I do not want to keep them all in this middle part. That's not the point of this storage. The bottom storage is for long lengths, long beams of wood. That's going to be for the bottom. That's perfect. That can stay as it is. I don't need to change that. This middle bit, however, is going to be for all of my project woods for this shelf and this shelf. These two main shelves, and obviously the other side, because it's about 5 feet, 6 feet long. So that's going to be for all firewood, not firewood like for a big fire, small pieces, barbecue sort of firewood, you know. So I'm going to make a few boxes and some smaller shelves to go into these in the future to make extra space. But for now, the main goal is to get rid of all of these, and I have to come up with some sort of an idea now of what to do with them, to be honest. I don't know what to do with them. I was considering to make another unit similar to this, but smaller, and have it on this far wall. But I quite like the open space which is here. So if I want to install a disc saw for the future for cutting wood, then I can have this as a cutting station. So I don't really want to build anything there yet. The other idea was behind the camera, where I have still some wood at the minute, is I would build one of these to store this short timbers, and I would make it longer and smaller, so it wouldn't be very high, and I could probably put some sort of shelf on top of it to have it as another kind of storage area. That's kind of practically the best idea at the minute, because I don't want to overcomplicate this room because it's just wood storage. So I don't want to go too in depth with it because it's just not needed. There's time that I can spend doing other things. This is just to get it workable and kind of look acceptable and practical. That's kind of the main reasons for doing this. So first thing I'm going to do, I got to take all these back out. I'll put them next door, and then I'll start making the second unit, and then we'll carry on from where we left off. So yeah, so anyway, crack on with the music and let the show begin. Okay, practically speaking, it doesn't really make sense for me to empty all these, put them outside, then make a storage unit and then put them back in. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of double handling. That makes no sense. And yeah, I've just turned off the microphone because I really don't have time to try and figure out all the settings at the minute, and I know speaking here works fine and it's clear, so I will work with the microphone at a different point and I'll use it more and I'll make sure I can get it better for good quality for you lot, but for now it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna move all of this. I'm gonna move all of this wood
outside, put it with the rest of the pile, which is basically still out there, and I'm going to start putting together a little, a smaller holder, similar to this one that I made for these, but it doesn't have to be as wide, because what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got it 8 widths at the minute. I don't need it to be that wide, really, because I can have it slightly taller, because it's only going to hold these. So kind of the length of this wall, not too far, because here at the end of these pallets is the start of the stairs, which eventually we will use. So I don't want to block that off completely, but somewhere just in front of the pallets, kind of towards the end of the wall, I can make one of these sort of structures, and we can then put all of this wood from here straight into that, which makes a lot more sense. And then we can carry on with all the smaller pieces, you know, making some shelves, make some flooring for the layers. Flooring. It's not flooring, is it? It's like shelves, but you know what I mean. So I can make some sort of shelves to go in these, which are smaller, to hold the multiple different types of wood that I'm gonna have, and maybe a box or two, and then we'll just crack on from there. So that's enough talking. We can jump straight in. This has all been here since before we moved in, so they've been there quite a while. This is a nice axe, to be honest. It's quite sharp as well. It's not too bad. I'll keep this. Happy days. Give it all a clean now because there's loads of glass and stuff in it, and then crack on. The only problem with renovating and then having a gap because I can't find stuff. Don't know where the collector is for the brush, you know, for the brush, but I can't find it. Can't find it anywhere. It's the bottom, you know, that goes to this to sweep everything into. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly make one. I got a few pieces of wood we can chuck together quickly, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so first quick project, we're just gonna make the dustpan or dust collector. Now, I have a lot of random woods where I like to collect, so I'm sure there's something. These two. And one. Two. And I have a piece of a broken brush, but on this side it's not too bad, so we can cut that somewhere. So, it's gonna be fun. Let's jump in. days. There's a quick little dustpan, does the job. It's not that accurate. It doesn't need to be, you know. Thrown together in, I don't know, a few minutes. I don't know. Does the job, and now we can go and sweep the shed. I do tend to do this. I get an idea, and then I go off and do that instead, and I get distracted from the original job that I was doing. Happens, but you know. Happy days. Let's go sweep now. The light's not very good. In here, I have to buy a new outside light to go here because it's not very bright. And it's getting dark early. It's getting towards winter, so it's not... You can still see, you know, it does the job. This little dustpan just worked wonders. See, you don't need to be fancy. You don't need a lot of money to get it done. A few scraps of wood chucked together nice and quick. I mean, it's not straight. I'll be the first person to tell you it's not straight. You can see it's not even, but does it matter? No, of course not. Does it do the job? Yes. This is not a channel for teaching professional carpentry. So if you're here for that, you're in the wrong place. This is just a guy who likes doing wood and does it very acceptably. Yeah, there we go. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Not the dog, obviously. The floor is not level. It's not level at all. I'm hoping from about there, there's a dip. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but yeah, literally from about there is a dip. There's a bend. So I'm hoping I can make it from there to here, and that should be enough for what we need. I'm hoping. Gonna get some wood, well, from here, and we'll measure it up and see how it looks. just having to think if it is going to be better to put it over that side. Because like here, I think it's still going to kind of look stupid. Do you know what I mean? Even though it'll be easy to pass. For example, in the future, when I'm, well, not in the future, but when I chop up a lot of the wood, I bring the wheelbarrow in to take that to the house, to then stack it in the house. And there's gonna be enough room just about, but I'm kind of thinking, is that stupid, you know? Whereas I can put it over there, opposite to the, get the light, there we go. I can put it over there, opposite to the original wood storage that I made, and they'll kind of go together. Plus, it's high enough that I could use it as a bench for something, you know? I tell you what, we're gonna try it over there first. I'm gonna put it over there, and we'll see how it looks, and then we'll make a plan. If it looks terrible over there and there's not much space, then I'll put it here. If it looks better over there, then we'll put it there. It's always better to check when you're doing these things halfway through, quarter of the way through, because then you can adjust sizes as you go along. Because I'm not a sole person to make a plan and follow it to a T. That just doesn't work for me. I'd rather make a plan, a rough guide, and adjust as it goes forward. So let's put it over there and see. How does it look? I worked out that I have 118 of these posts. Now, these posts, a lot of them are going to be firewood, and then some of them, well, probably half of them, will be for other things that I'll make, whether it's similar structures like this for my shed, because eventually I will build all new storage. This back kind of garage, it needs loads of shelves, tables and things, plus the outside kitchen when I make it. These will all be the main structure. I know it's overkill, you know, because there's no need for it to be that strong, but since it's free wood, then why not? So yeah, so I have 118 of them. I was calculating when it was here, if I have them in a row of 5, so 5 next to each other, laying down, I would need 11 stacks. At the minute, well, I've taken some from there, but on the left side, they're a stack of 8. So if you add 4 more, it's only about, you know, I think it's only about half of probably the size. What is this? Yeah, it's about that, roughly. So that's about half of that. So I have space as well for extras. You know, if I do, I'm gonna have to try these to see now, because this is plenty of space. I don't really want to come more forward than this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have a quick look. I'm just gonna put a few pieces here to see roughly how many that is that I can fit inside of that. You know what I mean? If I can fit 3 or 4, then I'll do some calculations to see how many, you know, because I don't think I'm gonna bring any more home for now. I don't need to. So I'm gonna mess about with this for a minute, and then we'll crack on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it here because I can get 5 next to each other, which is 36 centimeters, the width. So what I'm thinking I'll do is I'm gonna just put it to 40, like the width, you know, that I've got to keep the distance. And then I can get 2 stacks or 2 lots, and I can get them 5 high. I've already worked out there are 11 stacks, and I know that's like halfway. So although I'm just thinking maybe if I put them as a 4 instead of a 5, then that's going to give me like 13, 14 stacks. 13, 14 rows, but it will. The dilemma I have is how much space do I need in here? You know, how much space do I need? Because all I'm doing is going in there to get wood and then come out. So I'm thinking, what's better? At the end of the day, having it as a 5 means the whole structure is wider, so I can build on the top a flat top for more storage. So I'm thinking I might do that actually, because then on top of this I can make other boxes to just slide off the top, and in there I can have a different box for different things. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Perfect. See, it's nice. It's nice when you get a plan in the end, you know. It will look much better when it's done, and then I can move all these. I can start putting the stuff back in there, and then I've got all this empty space behind for something. I don't know for what yet, but I've literally cleaned it all and cleared it, which is ideal. Happy days. Okay, so this is how it looks so far. Happy days. It's nice. Does the job perfectly. And then tomorrow I can move all of these timbers into here. And then have a look at what I'm doing with these. With these spaces, you know? Yeah, I got so much space now for all the for all the wood, and I've got loads of different pieces of wood scattered around. Some are for future projects, some will just end up going as scrap wood. But at least now I've got somewhere where I can sort it all and make it more tidy at least. So it's getting late. I'm gonna go have some food. Signing off. I don't know what that wink was, to be honest. I'm tired. It's been a long day. But carry on with tomorrow. Not bad for another day. Oh, it's gonna look nice when it's done. Can't wait. Okay, change of plans. I had it here yesterday, and the problem is the ground here is not level. Because of that, it's tilting slightly backwards, which meant that when I was standing here, like right at the back, which meant when I was standing here, these woods, there was no space at all, and I wanted to have boxes here on top of it. So I've put it over here, which looks a lot better. So it's going to be over here instead. But you can see how wonky the ground is, which doesn't particularly matter because the ground's solid anyway. It's not going to be attached to the wall. So this is going to be a much better position, because then on top of this I can add boxes for smaller pieces of wood or whatever I need, different projects. Because not only do I have everything outside, which I'll show you. So not only do I have all of these to sort through and cut up. Some of them will be cut up into smaller pieces, some won't, some will go on top. But I want to organize everything. But also in this room, which I'll show you later, there's quite a few pieces of random bits of wood just laying on the floor. So all of them need to come out and be sorted as well. So this is a much better idea. Leave it there. Focus. I'm gonna leave it there. I can move all of these into that and then crack on with stage 2, because eventually, yeah, we'll worry about that another time. First things first is add some quick supports in the middle, because that's going to hold obviously all the weight from on top. Even though these are already solid, I want to just reinforce 2 at the back, maybe just 1 at the front. To be honest, I don't think it needs 2, but I might put 2 in anyway. We'll see. So yeah, we'll crack on with that, and then start moving all of them pieces. 118 or whatever it is, 118 pieces. Move all of them into here, and then we can start sorting the stuff outside. Oh, it's gonna be a fun day. finished. That is well strong enough for what I need it for. Phone call. Okay, finished. So there's the stacks. Doesn't look too bad if I say so myself, you know. So what I was doing here is I put it on top here. Basically, not the same size. They're all kind of awkward bars. They're probably the ones I'll use first for certain projects and stuff. But then on the left side, they're all the exact same size of the timbers, so they can literally stay there. So now, well, I mean, it was empty. I had to put some wood here, but this shelf is now completely empty. So I got all these middle shelves to do, and the top ones. I got a few things there to move at the back, but that's not too bad. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm basically gonna set up the table here. I'm gonna get out my circular saw, and I'm gonna set up a kind of cutting station. And then what I can do is some pieces I can bring in, I can cut them up ready, and I can make shelving for the bottom, because at the minute there's holes. Well, there's wood here, so that'll have to go, but you can see there's the holes like there. So obviously I need to block them up. So yeah, so I can start cutting all the wood as I bring it in, because a lot of this needs to be sorted as I go. What order I do, I have no idea. So we'll just go with the flow. So I'll set this up as a kind of time lapse, and yeah, this is gonna take a while. Oh, by the way, if you're curious why the floor, I have to move my fat belly. If you're curious why the floor, I did it this way, like the tiles, and then this center thing. There is a specific purpose for that. So you'll have to wait and see. But there is a purpose for this center part compared to the rest of it. You will see, you will see. unfortunately, I don't have enough of the same wood to do everything in the same wood. And the whole point of this, well, the whole point that I set up this channel, or my main goal when I set up this channel, was to only try to use what I can. Now and again, I'm gonna have to buy stuff. I'm gonna have to buy certain materials for certain jobs. Out here, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter how nice it looks. It just needs to store wood. It doesn't have to be fancy. When I make things for the inside of the house, then I'll go and buy things. You know, whether it's nice oak or a nice timber or something, it'll be nice wood because it'll be looked at a lot more. Here it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if there's 6 pieces of wood, 7 pieces of wood, it doesn't matter. And all this wood is free. So I mean, why not use it? But yeah, sometimes I get lucky and I get to bring pieces home from work, you know, certain things like this. But it's very rare I get to bring a lot of the same wood. So that's why I have like one piece of this, I have one board, you know, one of these. Sometimes I'll get 2 or 3, like the main platform here. I managed to get kind of 1.5 when I came home from work one day. So I'm very limited. Excuse me, I'm very limited. But you know, that's the whole point of this, is just to do it as free as possible. You know, so I'm gonna see if I have some other pieces of wood to fill these gaps, because I do have some, but they're nicer, you know, for shelving in the house. I don't want to waste them out here, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, this board can fill this gap nicely. I'll try and see if I've got something else to fill that gap, and then make a new plan. I have another big board, but that's to go up here as a flooring. Contemplating. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to just put a bottom or a floor on these three. These ones are not gonna have a back because this is where I want to store some of the slightly longer pieces that I don't want to cut. So for example, I'll show you. Yeah. So I have a few bags. I think I have about 2 bags left, full of these. These are small little wooden strips. You can see. Now these are good for kind of supports for smaller projects. Not obviously these big things. You know, these will do no good. But these I don't really want to cut. So I can just put them, and they're longer. They're about, say, I don't know, half a foot longer, some of them. And also is these, because these are the same. These are nice pieces of wood, they're solid, and these are good for then sort of medium-sized projects. And for other kind of supports, if I need them for anything else, then I have them. I don't want to cut these. So again, these are the same. So these can be one side, and they can just sit across the top. Now, because I want to kind of keep this into sections, the reason I'm going to put a bottom onto it is if I do use one of these and I do need to cut them, and then I have a little bit piece left over, there'll be an area here where I can put then the smaller pieces, if that makes sense. Once I've put it together, then it'll start to make sense. But this is a project I've wanted to do for a while, because now I can store all of the varieties of different woods that I have in one place. So if I need anything, I can just come here. Okay, so I've got one more big board. Sorry, I've got 2 more pieces that I can use to put as the bottoms. Once I've done these 3, and then, only then, can I actually bring everything in. Because on top there's not going to be anything, because these are going to be full. At the minute there's some big planks. So the top is just going to stay free at the minute. Whether I put something there in the future, that's irrelevant for now. So I need these 3 in, and then we can load it with everything. Oh, it's exciting. shelf. Middle shelf. The bottom will stay as it is. Now, as I've said, this doesn't have to be perfect because there is gaps, as you can see. There's gaps to the other side, but it's just a wood storage. It doesn't, you know, there's no need to make it fancy. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube make really fancy wood storages. There's no need. There's no need. It's you know, if you got all the money in the world to buy loads of woods just to waste on a wood storage, then, you know, props to you. All the best. For me, I like to do it cheap or free, because why not, you know? It's an expensive world we live in, so when I get the chance to do something cheap or free with what wood I have, I'll use it. I will definitely use it. So yeah, finally finished. Oh, beautiful. I know for probably most people watching, this is not that interesting, to be honest. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but for me, myself, and I have hated the wood storage area for such a long time. If I want to make a project, I have to try kind of rummage through all the wood to try and get something. So I'm happy lad. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna have a quick tidy up off camera. Just put all the tools away. I may leave out the saw, but it's getting late here, so I may leave all the cutting for tomorrow. But I can start putting away a lot of the taller pieces that go up on top that I don't need to cut, so I can start doing that today, now, and see, these are some of the good pieces that I bring home. Literally varnished and everything, or they've got the coating on top of it, you know. So these would be brilliant for shelving units for the house. So stuff like this, I want to store here, up on top, and that's why I've split it into sections, so I can have like a good area, an okay area, and then a bad area, or a great area. I don't quite know yet, to be honest. I'm just going with the flow, but I'm glad that I put this here, and then I'm not going to do it this time because I got to work Sunday. Today is Wednesday, so I won't have time. But next time, probably, I'll make some boxes to go on top of this as well, for even smaller, just kindling, like for the barbecue, because that would be nice. Just come here, take a box, take the kindling that you want for the fire, and then just go have a fire barbecue, because through summer especially, we have a lot. It's nice. It's coming along. It's coming along. I just love wood. I love wood. Love making things with wood. As I've said before, I am not a professional by any means. Never studied anything to do with wood, as you can tell. But I just enjoy it. I just enjoy it. And I think that's the main thing at the end of the day. If you enjoy doing something, makes time on Earth a lot better. So, yeah. Nice. I'm going to take some pictures as well, because now it's kind of finished. But the lighting in here is absolutely awful, because I only have this light, this lamp, and then I've plugged in a portable light. So it makes it better, at least for the camera. But the lighting in here is... this is not great. It's not great. Okay, anyway, I'm going to take some pictures. I'm going to put some of the tools away, and then we can start loading it. once I've got enough of the stuff in that I know where I need it to go, eventually then, next time, I'll add in a shelf. The reason I haven't added the shelf yet is because I may have more of, say, a certain type of wood rather than another. So I want to go through, and once I've kind of filled this bottom row, because it's kind of stupid to have, like, you know, this just stacked all the way to the top. That's kind of daft. And especially then if I've got good wood, and then on top of this there's not so good wood, on top of that there's good wood, that just doesn't really make any sense. So my logic behind it, because I've got plenty of space now to do everything, is I'm going to go through and sort, and as I sort and as I stack, I can then figure out, okay, I need a shelf halfway, or, you know, okay, now I need a shelf just right at the top, for example. So that's my thinking. Because some of you might be thinking, well, that's a big space for a lot of wood. Yes, exactly, you would be right. But every single one of these compartments is going to have different shelves at different heights for the different types of wood that I have. So that's exactly why I haven't done it that way. Here, however, I may just block off one of these, for example this one, and just put a piece of wood on the end here, and this I will just fill with a different type of firewood kindling that I have. But I may not, I may change it, because if I'm gonna have them in boxes over there, I may change it. So, but this is what I love, just the customization. Love it. Love woodworking like this. Just kind of going with the flow, not following a proper strict plan. Some people love to have a plan. Good for you. That's, you know, each to their own. For me, I just like going with the flow. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't matter. If it does fit, great. If you have to change it, you have to change it, and so on and so on. So, yes. Let's carry on. Oh, it's exciting. I don't even know why. I'm just excited to saw wood and have this. just in case you're wondering what I'm sorting, let me show you. So, this box full of goodies. These are all off a family friend, and he makes stuff with them. But some of them have this like tree bark on, or their regular shape to the left. Any of these dodgy ones to the left. Now I know this isn't a specific system, but it doesn't really matter. These ones, they're not too bad, and I can literally make something with them, so they stay on the right. But any of the bark to the left, just a quick little sort. It's just for the future, so it's easier. So these are first to burn, especially if we're having a fire here or going somewhere. I can take these, chop these up first. These I can use for little projects, or if I don't have any of these, I can use these because they're all scrap, you see, but it makes my life easier. So just in case you see me moving stuff, now you know. I think what I will do as well is I may add in a shelf here in the middle, not probably now, but for all these even smaller pieces, you know, because I'm kind of OCD, but I'm not OCD, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want these small pieces mixed in with the large pieces, but then when it comes to certain fine work, I don't care, so I don't understand, but it doesn't matter. You're watching, you're having fun, and I'm having fun while making it. But these I'm going to keep to one side for another day. That's one done, or partly done anyway. It's pretty dark outside because it's, what is it? It's like 6:30, 7 o'clock here, but obviously it's November, so it's getting dark early. So I gotta try to put some lights outside to do as much as I can for a few hours, and then call it a day again. This project, I probably could have rushed it and smashed it in like, you know, a week, but obviously the issue is there's loads of other jobs to do. For you, this is just non-stop video. For me, this is now a project over 2 months, I think. A few days here and there put together. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So I'll go and get some more wood, and we'll just carry on loading. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add another shelf. As I said before, I wanted to kind of, I'll add shelves as I go along. I've got a lot of these nice flat pieces, which are obviously good for shelving, as I've said before. But I don't want to put them all on top. I've got one or two up there already, because I have got kind of a system going at the minute, and I don't want to just start stacking everything on top. I know I don't have loads of pieces, but I would like to have a shelf here in the middle. The top is like kind of the nicest pieces that I'll use, but the longest, they can stay on top. Then I'll have another shelf here for just under that sort of size, and then this is under again, and this is under again, so it works its way down in size. So when I want to come to look for a piece, if it's either complete scrap, depending on the length, I know exactly where to look. If it's not perfect wood but not scrap, and maybe it's for like some sort of garden work or, you know, something, then I've got a shelf basically for them. But it's kind of mixed left and right for decent stuff, not decent stuff. I don't need to explain it all because there's a lot that goes on in my mind for my system. And you don't need to understand it. You just need to enjoy what I'm doing, hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna add another shelf here now, and then carry on, because I've done most of the nice pieces. I still have some more somewhere. I don't know where, but then the rest of the stuff outside is kind of bits and bobs. A lot of that is going to be cut up to go in this one. Now this is going to be the basically firewood, the firewood section on the left. Long pieces, scrap, middle pieces, scrap, and smaller kindling or whatever. So a lot of the stuff outside is going to be just cut and basically put there. So we have plenty of firewood, but there is a lot of stuff. That's why I've kept this one kind of biggest, because there's going to be a lot of stuff which I can kind of use for things which they're not awful, you know, but then there are some which are more for garden, and then there are going to be some which are more for kind of, technically that's like outdoor shelving. None of these middle section, or the middle section or the left section, none of that will go inside. It'll only be this right section from the bottom all the way to the top. That'll be for the indoor use. So, you know, cupboards, wardrobes, you know, tables, chairs, them sort of things. That'll all be that section. So I do have a plan. I do have a plan. This is why I left it open, because then I can add and change it as I go. If I want to add a drawer, I can. Probably don't need one, to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be open, and then I've cleared the top of that almost already. So then probably next time I'm home, I'll build some boxes, just small, probably about that big. I'm trying to measure with my hand, it's awkward. Probably about that big, and like, you know, 4 or 5, and they'll be full of just small little rubbish pieces, kind of like this bucket, which I'm sorting, you know, as I go through. This is fun. this is fun. I don't know if it is for you. If any of you have watched it this far, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. And if you haven't watched it this far, then you won't see this anyway, so that's irrelevant. Alright, let's get a shelf going up there, and then we can carry on.